You are watching the Wheel Talk podcast.
And welcome back for what I would assume will be probably the final time we get to speak to everybody this season on Inside the Headset. Ron Luce, your color commentator of the Quad City Steamwheelers, joined by the voice, by the heartbeat, by the soul of Vibrant Arena at the Mark, Mr. Kasey Keller. Kasey, we're here. It is Eastern Conference Championship game week. The Wheelers are hosting the Green Bay Blizzard. We're going to talk about that game. We're going to talk a little bit about last week's game against the Jacksonville Sharks in the first round, and just kind of the IFL landscape as a whole entering championship weekend. Before we get anything football, though, sir, how you doing?
The voice has been hoarse so far all week long, to be expected after the electric night electric afternoon that we had last Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that place was so rocking, and I get goosebumps even thinking about it, and looking forward to this Saturday to just amp it up even higher.
100%, 100%. It was really cool. It was really, really cool. And I think it's a great place to start is what transpired last week. Well, really, we're only as we record this here, about 4 days removed. But Saturday was incredible. Plain and simple, right? The first home playoff game in the market since 2007. Roger Terry and I did some research, and we believe we have it correct. The last time a home playoff win occurred in the Quad Cities was 2003. So that is some crazy history, truly, that was made on Saturday afternoon at Vibrant Arena on the banks of the Mississippi. And it was awesome. Like you said, Kasey, what an atmosphere. I know you had nothing left to give at the end of that game from a voice perspective. I did appropriately catch myself a few times just sitting back in my chair and just taking in the atmosphere, because it was that next step, like we talked about on last week's show, of just how incredible the crowd was. And there was a lot going on in the Quad Cities as well,
Yep.
right? You had the fair going on, you had plenty of other things that were happening, and that crowd, it didn't even matter the number of people that were in that crowd. That crowd was unreal. I actually ended up giving away a few cough drops, which I use for the broadcasts to keep my voice fresh, to some of the fans that have gotten to know us, because they're like, "Hey, can I borrow one of those? We're already at halftime and I have no voice." So it just goes to show how pumped up and how ready people were, Kasey, for this past game. And it paid off in a 57-41 victory over the Jacksonville Sharks in round one.
Absolutely. We've been talking about this show after show. This team is special. Wheeler Nation is ready for championship football through the Quad Cities, and now we finally have it. And I just know everybody. I see it all over social media. Everybody's so amped for it Saturday night.
It's going to be incredible. And again, we are once again the only game that will be on Saturday. The Western Conference Championship game will be played on Friday night. We'll talk a little bit about that here in just a minute and kind of what has transpired out there. Kasey, I think the coolest thing about Saturday as well, with it being an early game, a lot more time for celebration post game for people, fans and players and broadcasters included. And I think it was really cool to be able to celebrate that. And of course, it's the 24-hour rule, right? You enjoy it in the moment, and then you gotta get ready for the next week and taking care of business. But I think also just the fact that that was a great way to start the IFL playoff calendar for 2025. You had two games on Saturday. On Sunday. You had a game last night on Monday, again, as we record this here on Tuesday afternoon. And every single one of these games was really good, maybe outside of the Green Bay Tulsa game. And even that was probably more so just Tulsa just had some unfortunate mistakes that really bit them. But outside of that, all of these games were crazy, crazy good. And exactly what I would want as a fan of this great league as your playoff slate for the first round, to put, this weekend now on the pedestal of, okay, it's championship weekend, and we're going to have two final teams remaining here at a chance at a national championship. It's a good feeling when you can start off that slate with the game that it was, right? We had a 41-41 tie with 6.5 minutes to go in the fourth, only for the Wheelers to come out on top because of some big plays down the stretch.
Yeah, it was exciting to have that 41-41 going into, like you said, less than 6 minutes left. We we got that crowd. That place was so loud. I've never heard that place that loud before, and I'm getting goosebumps right now just thinking about it. So, Wheeler Nation, bring it back Saturday night.
Bring it back indeed. And a couple quick notes about bringing it back, Casey. Bring those rally towels. Bring those again. That adds to the atmosphere. You get to see one right here. Casey's got it. Make sure you bring those back. Those are going to be huge as a part of just the atmosphere and the fun. Let's be real. Who doesn't love spinning a rally towel in the playoffs? I know I do personally. In addition, Casey, the first 1,000 fans that arrive will get a sweet Eastern Conference Championship team poster. So it's the full team in their getups of what they will be wearing on Saturday. That is given to us so graciously by our friends over at the printing store. So big shout out to them. So again, 1,000 posters. If you're there early, you're going to get some pretty cool stuff to take away from this game as well. Because again, another notch in the history of playoff football in the Quad Cities this weekend, hosting the Eastern Conference Championship. It's against the rivalry. The Green Bay Blizzard rivalry lives strong on into deep into the postseason, and it's going to be pretty incredible. Casey, before we preview the game, though, just getting your vibe here. What are you asking from the fans as they come on Saturday? What's the number one thing they need to bring besides the energy?
Well, the number one thing is you had a great time Saturday afternoon. Bring your friends, bring your family. This is going to be a game you will not want to miss. Ron and I have said it ad nauseum every episode. It doesn't matter what record Green Bay and the Steelers have. It's always a battle, but now you've got the number one and the number two battling it out for the Eastern Conference Championship. You're not going to find a better thing to do Saturday night. I can guarantee it.
I'll tell you what, Casey, I'm right there with you. I am bringing my friends, literally. I will be bringing about 15 of my closest friends to this game on Saturday from Chicago. It's my bachelor party weekend, and now the Quad City Steamwheelers get to be a part of that, and I'm pretty stoked about it. So, again, come join the fun. I mean, literally, we're all bringing people, and we encourage the fans to bring people as well. Again, correct me if I'm wrong, Casey. You're in the local market. You know this a little bit better than I do. I don't think there's anything that should be competing with this beautiful game on Saturday night.
Not to my knowledge. I think we are the best, the hottest ticket in the Quad Cities for Saturday night. And I'm bringing my family as well, coming almost 3 hours up. So,
Heck yeah.
no excuse to not miss this game.
No excuse. We certainly hope everybody joins along. Also, a huge shout out as part of the pregame festivities to Brian Barrett. He's hosting his tailgate in the parking lots, and we even got invitations to come out and grab a bite to eat. So certainly super excited about that as well. Again, the atmosphere is going to be unmatched on Saturday night. It's going to be a rocking environment at Vibrant Arena. Tickets are starting at $10. This is a championship football game, ladies and gentlemen. All of you watch the NFL. I know you do. This is the equivalent of those games played in late January before they go to the Super Bowl. Why wouldn't you want to be at that? And it's incredibly reasonable to get there as well and be a part of the action. So again, go check those out. Steamwheelersfootball.com/tickets is where you can find all that good stuff. Be a part of the action. It's going to be so much fun. And we're going to talk about this game here. But Casey, I think we need to do justice by looking at what happened around the rest of the league for maybe the fans that are maybe a little more hyper-focused on what the Wheelers are doing and not so much what the rest of the league was doing. As we mentioned, Green Bay took care of business over the Tulsa Oilers. It was in their home building. They were favored. I think it was a little more lopsided than some people expected, myself included. But that was a
Yep.
58-26 victory for Green Bay. So they knew immediately that they were coming to the Quad Cities with that victory because Quad Cities has the number one seed. So we knew the Eastern Conference matchup before a Western Conference playoff game was even played. On Sunday night, though, down go the number one Bay Area Panthers. They lose to the Vegas Nighthawks at home. That was a 36-31 game. Some really crazy kind of time clock things at the end of that game. And unfortunately, Bay Area kind of just let it get away. It felt like a little bit. Neither team really wanted to take the reins and kind of run away with the game, but it came down to the wire. It was an incredible finish. And then Monday night, some controversy in
Yeah.
IFL football. Um, Arizona comes back late, gets the lead. San Diego has time for one more play with 1 second to go. They get it off. There's certain people out there that believe a flag should have been called and the game should have been over. Neither here nor there. San Diego scores, ties the game, extra point, wins it, and the San Diego Strike Force pull off the upset 3-2 against the Arizona Rattlers. There's been a lot I encourage fans to do your research. That's all I'm going to say here. Do your
Yep.
research if you want to see some of the controversy around that. Our good friend Trey over at Off the Wall has done a great job covering that, as have a number of other outlets. So go check it out. It's interesting to say the least. But how about that, Casey? You got the 1 versus the 2 in the East. You have the 3 versus the 4 in the West. This is the
Yeah.
beauty of IFL playoff football.
And it just goes to show you that in the game of indoor football, it's not over till it's triple zeros.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and these two games in out west proved that
Absolutely.
when it was all said and done on Sunday and Monday, respectively. So incredible stuff. But that Western Conference Championship game will actually take place on Friday evening. That'll be a 9:05 Central Time start, so 7 o'clock appropriately out in the Pacific Time Zone. Be on the lookout for that. Again, Vegas Nighthawks against San Diego Strike Force is that game. That should be a good one. I believe it's being hosted in Vegas though, due to some conflicts with the arena for San Diego. So that is the Nighthawks are not technically the home team, but they're playing in their own building. So that's going to be something interesting to see. I bet you Strike Force fans, though, will come out in droves. It's not a long trip from San Diego to Vegas. That should be a really good game. And that'll, again, kind of get us all fired up for what's to come on Saturday night at Vibrant Arena at the Mark, as we will then learn who our Eastern Conference champion will be and who will be played from the East against whoever wins in the West. So should be some good stuff. But Casey, let's talk about the game that we are hyper focused on because we will be in attendance on Saturday at Vibrant Arena. This has always been a good matchup. The history runs deep all the way back to the AF2 days. Even in the IFL, this has been one of the best rivalries, in my humble opinion, in the sport. It's hard not to get fired up for a rivalry like this. Green Bay versus Quad Cities. Two MVP level quarterbacks, Max Myler, who's had an incredible year, might be your 2025 IFL MVP when
Yeah.
it's all said and done, given his stats. DeQuan Neal obviously has had a spectacular season as well for the Wheelers. Playmakers on both sides of the ball, two of the best defenses in the game as well. Two coaches that know each other incredibly well. Coach Roberson, Coach Ross go way back to their time back in Bismarck with the Bucks. These guys know each other. These teams know each other, and this will be the 4th time that Green Bay and Quad Cities have played each other this season. This will be the 3rd time at Vibrant Arena. I mean, would you have wanted it any other way, Casey? This feels like the appropriate ending to the Eastern Conference slate for 2025 because these were your best two teams really all season long. And now we're getting to see why as they get to take on one another yet again for a 4th time
Yeah.
in the
The
Eastern
the
Conference
the
Championship.
storylines, there's so many storylines that can be drawn off of this game, and this really feels like the Midwest Super Bowl. I mean, you can't put it any other way. Championship football in the Midwest, can't beat it.
You can't beat it. I agree with that wholeheartedly. And again, a rivalry that runs deep, and I think that's what makes it so poetic. Not to undersell that, Jacksonville or Tulsa wouldn't have put on a great performance in this game, but when you tie in the history of these two franchises and how deep their histories run, right? The Tulsa Oilers are a newer organization in indoor football in general, let alone in the IFL. The Jacksonville Sharks have a history that dates back to the later arena football days, but they were an expansion franchise at that point. These are two of the original AF2 teams before that league shut down and the AFL kind of went awry in the late 2000s. I mean, to have the rivalry renewed in the IFL, to have it come to this point where winner goes to Tucson and the loser stays home. This is about as good as it's going to get, I think. And I think it's a product that the fans of this great league can be really proud of, because this is going to be an incredible game, I think, either way. I haven't seen any Vegas odds for this yet. I would be appalled if this is more than a 1 point game either direction on the books. That's kind of the feeling I'm starting to get.
Yeah, I feel like it's going to either be a 1 point odd or a straight up pick 'em, because this one, we've said it before, it doesn't matter the records. These two teams always come to play.
They sure do. They sure do. And the last time these two teams played at Vibrant Arena, or really just in general, Green Bay has taken the last two, but the Wheelers got the first laugh of the season with the victory in the opening week of IFL action. It was a 1-0 start for the Wheelers after that game. Just a 2 point victory as well, and just a 6 point victory the last time for Green Bay, the last time these two teams saw each other. So fully expecting a close game when it's all said and done on Saturday evening. Again, this is a 7:05 Central Time start. If you can't make it for some reason, you can check out myself and Redrick Terry on the mic over at the IFL Network. Otherwise, come listen to Casey Luce's voice and just be a part of an incredible atmosphere on Saturday. Again, tickets are starting at $10. The posters from our friends over at the printing store for the first 1,000 fans. And again, steamwheelersfootball.com/tickets is where you can find all of that great information. Casey, I'm just mentally preparing myself. I've already done my game prep. These two teams look really similar to the last time they played. It's really just going to be whoever plays the best football game comes out on top. And I cannot wait for Saturday night at Vibrant Arena.
Yeah, like I said last episode, the guys were dialed in against Jacksonville. I know they're going to be dialed in against Green Bay. The fans, Wheeler Nation, is going to be dialed in. Don't forget to bring your rally towels. I'm going to be calling for them all night long. Tickets start at $10. You can barely get a value meal for $10 these days.
That's true.
No reason not to be at Vibrant Arena.
I agree wholeheartedly, Casey. And I want to quickly, thank Dustin, who's been a huge part of this. Our friends over at Planet 93.9 throughout the year. We don't know if this is our last episode of Wheel Talk for the season. We have no idea. Maybe it is, maybe it's not. Either way, if it is the last time we talk to everybody, we appreciate everybody that's listened along with us all season long as a part of Inside the Headset, and of course, as the greater Wheel Talk podcast as a whole. This has been fun this year. This has been something new, and it's been a really enjoyable experience. Fans have gotten to really know the guys on the team this year, thanks to those guys getting into the studio and talking with Meg. Incredible launch to the show on that episode with Destiny and with James and with Dustin. I mean, this has been a really fun season, and it finally all kind of comes to its boiling point on Saturday. And so, if this is the last time we get to talk to everybody this season, it's been a genuine pleasure doing this, and we appreciate everybody that has listened along. If you're listening along with us this week, get to Vibrant Arena on Saturday. It's a game you're not going to want to miss. From the great Kasey Keller, the voice and soul of Vibrant Arena, from myself, Ron Luce, we appreciate everybody tuning along with us here at Inside the Headset. We'll see you on Saturday for the Eastern Conference Championship at Vibrant Arena. The Mark. Take care.
Go Wheelers.